Hello, strong people. It is week 5, day 1 of America's Strongest Man Prep. Today is the heaviest press day for overhead I have ever had. As was last week, believe it or not. So this week we're actually going heavier. I'm not going to talk too much because I'm trying to get into it. I'm already warming up, so I'm kind of itching to go. I didn't start this video earlier because you couldn't hear me at all over the rain. I still don't know if you can hear me that well, so I'm kind of yelling. So I apologize if it's too loud, but I'm not even going to say what weight we're trying today. I'm not even going to say. You're going to have to watch. Just quick rundown. SCL, Strongman Champions League USA, was Saturday. I went there. Amazing show. Held a crowd the whole day. One of the coolest shows I've ever seen. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it was, don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have competed, but that show looked amazing. Entertaining whole way through, held a crowd all day. I think that shows that strongman can be done in the USA. And that was done very well. So props to those guys. It's crazy. But so I've had 2 days rest. Obviously Saturday I was on my feet a lot because we were watching this pretty much all day long. But I'm ready to go. We got some big weights to hit today, so we got to make sure it happens. No mistakes, or at least as little mistakes as we can make. So that's all. Let's get into it. How was that? Now that I've done it, I can tell you what the goal was today. So it was 2 to 4 singles between 395 and 420. That was 425, just because the math is easier. I didn't want to use 5s and 2.5s or whatever it would have had to have been. Yeah, 5s and 2.5s. But 425, that is a 20-pound PR from last week and a 25-pound total PR between the last 2 weeks combined. Insanity. And it didn't even, like, bar path was not that good. I lost out in front a little bit, but a couple things, I want to say something about that, but I'm going to come back to it. So I knew leading up to it that my leg drive was just not there. It didn't feel good. Warm-ups. So I recorded 335 as my first one. That's the first thing I recorded, I think. And I saw that I was like using no legs. I was like, what are you doing, dude? Now, it's that point in prep where legs are kind of gone. They're going to come back over the next 2 weeks or so. But I was not using them. And then I got a little bit better. 375, I think, was the next thing I recorded. And then 405 was okay. And then I was like, we're going for it. It moved well enough. So 425 happened. I was able to use better leg drive. As I was getting a little bit heavier, I kind of made an adjustment. But something that clicked on that 425 press that I have not felt on a push press in I don't know how long. I don't know if I've ever felt it on a push press. So whenever I strict press, obviously I'm not using my legs. I'm not doing a push press. I am using my legs in the way that they are tight. I am fully, like, clenched is probably the best word. The whole bottom half is clenched. It's tight. Everything is flexed because I'm using that as a base to press off of. When I push press, I don't feel that all the time. Not all the time, ever. I don't ever feel that until that press right there. I don't know what I did differently. I think I just finally put everything into it, used everything I know how to use. And once I finished my push press and that bar kind of stalled 3/4 of the way, I felt my legs go tight. I felt everything. I felt like I had a platform to press off of. And in my head, I went, oh my God, it worked, or it's happening, or light bulb moment, whatever. And I finished the press relatively easy. That's what I've been trying to do that for so long, because whenever I fail a press right there, that's why, because I just don't have anything to press off of. That's what it feels like, at least. That one I felt completely stable. I felt like I could strict press that out, finish the rep with my triceps, no problem. Not no problem, obviously it's heavy, but that's how it's supposed to feel. That is... whatever press I end up with, I'm very happy with that rep right there, because everything felt like it finally clicked, even though the bar fell out in front a little bit. I thought about going for another rep just because the bar did fall in front a little bit, but I put a lot of energy into that one, and I don't really have much else to prove this training cycle, so I'm happy with that. Now, as cool as it is to say that I just pressed 425 pounds, that's still not going to be that good when it comes to this show, which is fine, because this is going to sound contradictory to what I usually say. I go into all my shows to win, but I'm also pretty realistic. Obviously, I don't show up with the plan to lose. I think that is a stupid thing to do, even if you know you're going to lose. It's just having that confidence to go into the show and be like, yeah, I got a shot. Even if you don't, if you can convince yourself, fake your confidence, you're probably going to do better. Because if you're not confident in lifting the weights you're going to lift, you might not lift them. So in reality, I know that this weight is not going to be top tier at this show, unfortunately. Just because there's dudes that are going to be, there's behind the neck pressing allowed, so those guys are probably going to be up front for the most part. We're going to see some 500-pound presses overhead. It's just going to happen. I'm not going to be one of them. That's just not it. I might even be the only one push pressing for all I know. But that's fine. I made the decision. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to see how far we can push the push press. So, this is where the realistic part comes in. I know that I'm not going to win this show. Technically speaking, because I'm going, there's a possibility. But I know the caliber of the dudes that are coming. And I know where I stand in some of these events. At least what I think. I've turned up to shows and done better than anticipated, done worse than anticipated, whatever. I'm just going into this to try to beat my personal bests, trying to do the best that I can do. And that's pretty much what you should be trying to do every show. If you get good enough at every show, or if you do just a little bit better every single show, but a little bit more strength, eventually you're going to be pretty good. And that's really all I'm trying to do. So I think these push presses going forward are going to help me, build my other presses, whether it be axle, log, whatever. So I'm just looking forward to the challenge of a new event, revisiting an old press that I used to do a lot. So I don't know if any of that even made sense. I'm a little bit loopy. But basically, I'm happy with the press. I'd love to hit 200 kilos, 440 pounds. But at the show, it's like 435, 455. So I want a shot at the 435. So probably 375, 395, 415, 435. But man, would I love to press 455. The only thing is, if you miss, you're out. So 395 is not a guaranteed rep. So it's a bit of a risk to jump in at that weight, because if you fail, you zero that first event, you were probably done for. Like, there's no coming back from that. At a high-level show like this, just isn't going to happen. Unless you win every other event somehow. And even then, you still might not. So I have something next, some sort of exercise that we do. Dead press, pin press, whatever you want to call it. Something like that. I think it's like 5 sets of 2, so it's probably going to be pretty heavy, but let's just go do it. Oh, I'm a sweaty boy. That sled drag was really heavy. It was supposed to be heavy, so mission accomplished. God. I don't know if it made it worse or not, but it's been raining literally the whole time I've been out here. And the floor, now, if you're new to this channel, I did not seal underneath this garage. So where the metal meets the concrete, there are gaps. So water gets underneath it when it rains. Now, it has been basically a drought here in PA for quite a while now, so I haven't had to worry about it. But it's made up for it tonight. So everything underneath the garage doors, it's kind of flooded over there. So the turf is wet. It's pretty wet. I have no idea if that has anything to do with how heavy that felt. Obviously, I've added 180 pounds to it, but I don't know. And then obviously my form looks like it sucks. If you're doing a regular arm over arm, like a truck pull or a sled pull, just a regular one in a show, don't do what I'm doing in these ones. Because these ones are specifically programmed to just be mostly upper body. Because that's going to be a big part of this hoist. So if you're unfamiliar, haven't been watching, the hoist, there's essentially going to be a weight on the floor. There's a pulley up top, and we are pulling it off the floor. So to a degree, it's going to have some give to it, obviously to prevent any damage to the equipment or the floor or whatever, for safety. There are volunteers like grabbing the rope once you've pulled it. So it does kind of stay where it's at once you pull it, but there's going to be some play, it's inevitable. So it's going to be a lot of upper body. After watching Nationals, you can use a lot more lower body than I would have thought originally. It's going to be interesting. I don't know. It's going to be tough to do. I don't know if we'll get like a run through on that just to try to test heights. To see where the knee pads are going to be, because it's like a lat pull down seat type of thing, so you're kind of locked in with your knees under the pads. So utilizing that well is going to be a big key here. So we'll see. But successful training night. I've been out here too long, as per usual, for this prep. So I'm ready for a nice little off season after this, but not done yet. A couple more sessions to go. A couple big ones still. And then we'll rest up and fly out to Vegas. So I just choked on air. Until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.